Hello everyone and welcome to our video series on Learn German for Beginners. In the previous two lessons, you learned what is perfekt, how to make sentences in perfect, and when to use sein or haben as the helping verb. In this lesson, you will be learning how to form the Partizip II of various verbs. Do go through lesson 44 and 45 before you begin with this lesson. So, let's begin. Lektion 46. Das Perfekt, Teil 3. Now let's first go through the learning objectives. You'll be learning how to make Partizip II for regelmäßige Verben, for unregelmäßige Verben, for trennbare Verben, and for untrennbare Verben. If you want to revise what all these verbs are, you can go through our videos on the same. The links are given below in the description. The basic rule for forming perfekt is using haben or sein as the Hilfsverb in the second position and Partizip II of the main verb at the end of the sentence. Let's first go through a few examples in perfekt. And here's the first one. Kochen hat gekocht. Ich habe gestern lange gekocht. The next verb is fahren, ist gefahren. Wir sind gestern in die Innenstadt gefahren. If you notice, the Partizip II is formed by adding ge to the verb. But not always, like in the next example. Fotografieren hat fotografiert. Wie lange hast du die Touristen fotografiert? Let's look at an example of a trennbares Verb. Einschlafen ist eingeschlafen. Wann bist du gestern eingeschlafen? Now we learn how to form the Partizip II. The basic rule is you can add a ge or there is sometimes no ge to the Verbstamm. This Verbstamm might have a Vokalwechsel or no Vokalwechsel. At the end, you can have either a t or et or an. This rule varies from verb to verb. Let's see how to make Partizip II for regular verbs. Bei regelmäßigen Verben. Here you add ge to the Verbstamm. The Verbstamm has no Vokalwechsel, which is typical for regular verbs. At the end, you will either add a t or an at. We'll do a few examples to understand this better. Here's the first regular verb. Machen. Hat gemacht. The Partizip II takes ge plus Verbstamm, that is mach, plus t at the end. Hence, gemacht. Do not forget that whenever you're learning the Partizip II of a verb, you have to learn the Hilfsverb along with it. It's either hat or ist. Here's an example. Machen hat gemacht. Ich habe die Hausaufgabe gemacht. Here are some more examples with regular verbs. Spielen hat gespielt. Wie lange hast du gestern Musik gespielt? The next verb is lernen hat gelernt. Ich habe die neuen Wörter schon gelernt. Here's another regular verb. Arbeiten hat gearbeitet. In this case, the Verbstamm is ending with t, hence the Partizip II will take the ending et. So all the regular verbs where the Verbstamm ends with te or de. Take the ending as et. Here's another example. Reden, hat geredet. Now let's look at the example with arbeiten. Ich habe auch am Sonntag gearbeitet. Let's see what happens to verbs that end with ieren. For example, studieren, fotografieren. In this case, the Partizip II does not take a ge. You will just use the Verbstamm and add a te to the end. For example, studieren, hat studiert. Once again, in this case, we take the Verbstamm, that is studier, and add a t to the end. And here's an example. Martina hat an der Uni Mathe studiert. Moving on to the next category, irregular verbs. Bei unregelmäßigen Verben. In this case, to make the Partizip II, you add ge to the Verbstamm, which will show a Vokalwechsel since it's an irregular verb. At the end, you will add an. There are a few mixed verbs that take ge with Verbstamm that shows a Vokalwechsel and te at the end. For example, denken, hat gedacht. And here's the first example. Schreiben, hat geschrieben. In this case, the Partizip II of schreiben has a ge plus Verbstamm, schrieb. At the end, you have an. And now the example. Petra hat mir einen Brief geschrieben. Here's another irregular verb. Finden, hat gefunden. Wir haben den Film sehr langweilig gefunden. Next verb is kommen, ist gekommen. Kommen doesn't have a Vokalwechsel in presence but in its preteritum form. That's why it's an irregular verb. The preteritum for kommen and other verbs you will be doing in Art 2. So in Perfekt, such verbs just take a ge plus Verbstamm plus an at the end. And here's an example. Er ist spät nach Hause gekommen. Here's a list of few irregular verbs and their perfect that you should know. Essen, hat gegessen. Gehen, ist gegangen. Bringen, hat gebracht. Trinken, hat getrunken. Fahren, ist gefahren. Geben, hat gegeben. Helfen, hat geholfen. Nehmen, hat genommen. The next case is bei trennbaren Verben. Here the Partizip II takes first the prefix of the verb, then the Partizip II of the verb, which could be regelmäßig oder unregelmäßig. Here's an example for prefix and regelmäßiges Verb. Einkaufen, hat eingekauft. As we just discussed, the Partizip II takes the prefix ein plus Partizip II for kaufen, gekauft. And here's how you would use it. Hast du gestern viel eingekauft? Präfix with unregelmäßiges Verb. Aufstehen, ist aufgestanden. The Partizip II takes the prefix auf plus Partizip II für stehen, gestanden, hence aufgestanden. Let's look at how to use it. Matthias ist heute spät aufgestanden. Here are a few more trennbare Verben and their Perfekt. Zumachen, hat zugemacht. Mitkommen, ist mitgekommen. Fernsehen, hat ferngesehen. Anfangen, hat angefangen. Now let's see how to make perfect for untrennbare Verben. In this case, the Partizip II will have untrennbares Präfix with Partizip II vom Verb, but without ge. This verb could be regelmäßig oder unregelmäßig. Let's look at a few examples to understand this. The first one is erklären, hat erklärt. Meine Lehrerin hat das Thema gut erklärt. In this case, the verb klären is a regelmäßiges Verb. Hence, it takes only a T at the end. The next verb is verstehen, hat verstanden. Stehen is an irregular verb. Hence, verstanden. Ich habe heute alles verstanden. Here are a few other untrennbare Verben which you should know. Bekommen, hat bekommen. Gefallen, hat gefallen. Erzählen, hat erzählt. Entscheiden, hat entschieden. We would advise you to make a list of all the verbs that you have learned in the last two chapters and in this chapter, along with their perfect form, and learn them. With time, you will get a command over the perfect forms. Great! Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Danke! Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Do click on the bell to receive notifications whenever a new video is uploaded. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen!